class, welcome to today's segment whereby we are going to be discussing IELTS Writing Part 2. As we all know, IELTS Writing Part 2 is usually the same in both academic and general. This is because in both academic and general, you are required to write an essay. And in this essay, you are required to answer your question statement given by the examiner. Okay, so it's basically the same and we'll combine the two of them. The only difference between academic and general is that in academic, the topic you'll be presented to write an essay about will usually be in line with academia. It will probably be something about deforestation, the weather, just something in line with academics. Maybe something about the literature, something in line with academia. But in general, the topics you'll be presented with will be about day-to-day life. Maybe topics in regards to friendship, topics in regards to leisure time, topics in regards to maybe group discussions, the benefits of group discussions, topics in which you can discuss with your friends and colleagues in the day-to-day life. That's the only difference. The difference is only in topics. Okay. First and foremost, let us discuss the question types you might encounter in IELTS Writing Part 2. The first question type is the agree and disagree question type, whereby you're given a question and you are asked to either agree with that you're presented with a statement and you are told by the examiner to either agree or disagree with that statement, and then you're supposed to say why you agree with the statement or why you disagree with that statement. Okay. The second question type is advantage and disadvantage question type. This is whereby you are given maybe a topic, a certain topic, or you're given, for example, you're given a certain topic, and then you should say the advantages of this topic is not the right word. Maybe you're given statement talking about maybe public transport, and then the question is asking you to say the advantages or disadvantages of public transport. Or you're given a statement talking about education, so you should give the examples, the advantages and disadvantages of public transport. Okay, the third question type is the discuss question type. This is whereby you're given a topic and you're told to discuss. For example, you're given a topic in regards to deforestation, or you're given a topic in regards to leisure time. So it's up to you to decide, what are you going to talk about leisure time? Are you going to talk about the disadvantages of leisure time and advantages, or are you going to talk about the benefits of leisure time alone, or are you going to talk about why leisure time should be implemented? Do you get what I mean? In this question type, you're given the opportunity to choose the direction you want your essay to go in. Okay. The fourth question type is about a problem and a solution. This is whereby you are presented with a certain problem and you're supposed to give the solution to that problem. For example, you're given the problem of poaching, and you are required to give the solutions to curb this problem of poaching. Or maybe you're given the problem of cheating in examinations and you're required to give the solutions to cheating in examinations. Okay. The fifth and last question type is direct question types. This is whereby you are given a direct statement and you're supposed to discuss it. This is almost the same with the discuss question type, because you can be given a question like, do you think network marketing is good? That is your question. So it's up to you to defend that question. is no, it's up to you to answer that question and to say why you think your defense is right, or why you think that question is, like, you are just answering this question, or you are presented with the question like, is university education a necessity in this time and age? So you can either answer this question by saying yes, it's a necessity, and then you give a reason as to why you think it's a necessity. You can also answer this question by saying no, it's not a necessity, and give your reasons as to why you think it's not a necessity. You get what I mean? So this is a direct question. Okay. So those are the question types that you will encounter in part 2 writing, regardless if it's part 2 academic or part 2 general. Okay. So let me give you the structure in which you are required to answer any question type in IELTS writing part 2. The first paragraph should always be your introduction paragraph. And in this paragraph, you should always take a stand and rephrase the question in your own words. So in the introduction paragraph, what you do is, first of all, you rephrase your question in your own words, the question given in your own words. After that, you take a stand. For example, if your stand is to agree with the question given, if your stand is to disagree with the question given, if your stand is like you state your opinion, just a brief statement in regards to your opinion. Okay. And this introduction paragraph gives the first impression. Ensure it is great. Guys, the introduction paragraph introduces the examiner to your work, so please ensure it is top notch. Okay. The second paragraph, the second, third, and fourth paragraph should be your body paragraphs. These body paragraphs should also have a structure. Before I forget, you can have a minimum of 1 body paragraph and a maximum of 3 body paragraphs. Remember, you're also saving on time, so don't go and write 4 body paragraphs, 5 body paragraphs. The maximum you should write to be time conscious is about 3 body paragraphs. But the most recommended is 2 body paragraphs. But if you feel like 2 body paragraphs is too much for you, always ensure you have at least 1 body paragraph. At least 1 body paragraph. Okay. So this body paragraph should also have a structure. And the structure of the body paragraph is, number 1, the body paragraph should have a topic sentence. After the topic sentence, the next statement or statements should explain your topic sentence. After that, after the explanation to your topic sentence, the next statements should give an example of why your topic sentence is true, or the next statement should talk about the past or future. And after that, you should conclude your paragraph. So number 1, topic sentence. The first statement should be a topic sentence. Then the following statements or statement should be an explanation to a topic sentence. And after that, you should give an example in regards to your topic sentence. Or rather, you should talk about the past or the future in regards to your topic sentence. Let me explain this. This is just a brief explanation, and it's an explanation out of the blues. For example, my essay is talking about good qualities about Laura Mudeu. Laura Mudeu is me. Okay, that being too self-centered, I don't think so. Okay, good qualities about Laura Mudeu. So while you are noting down your points, your key points, your first key point was Laura Mudeu is patient. Okay, so your paragraph is going to be based about Laura Mudeu is patient. Okay, so the body paragraph is going to begin with Laura Mudeu, or she is a very patient lady. Okay, that is the topic sentence. She is a very patient lady. So the examiner knows that this body paragraph is going to be talking about Laura Mudeu's patience. She is a very patient lady. The next statement should be discussing as to why she is a very patient lady. Okay, you say she's a patient lady because she usually takes her time before jumping to any conclusions, and always ensure that she knows the other side of the story before jumping into any conclusion or making any rushed decision. Thus, she's patient. So you've explained as to why Laura Mudeu is patient. One, because she doesn't jump into conclusions easily, and she always ensures that she's heard the other side of the story. Okay, that is the second statement. This can be one or two statements. The third statement should be giving an example of a scenario whereby she has been patient. If you are not given an example, you can also give, in this example can be talking about the past or the future. But in this case, we are going to be talking about the past. So you'll say something like, many times, her friends have come late to meetings, but she always ensures that she does not get angry easily. She is patient with her friends and will ensure that she's asked them why they are late and give the friends a chance to explain the reason as to why they are late. So this is an example as to when Laura Mudeu has been patient, or times when she has been patient. Have you understood? So, and then after that, you conclude that paragraph. You say, this is just an example. From the above, it is evident that Laura Mudeu is a patient lady, or Laura Mudeu is a lady that practices patience. So number 1, topic sentence. Number 2, an explanation of the topic sentence. Number 3, an example either in the past or in the future. Number 4, you conclude that body paragraph. And remember guys, this example I have given is not up to par to the standard required in writing. I was just giving you a brief example so that you just understand what I'm talking about. Okay? Alright. Yes. After the body paragraph or body paragraphs, always ensure you have a conclusion to your essay. Always ensure you have a conclusion in your essay. Remember, in part 1 academic, there is no conclusion or introduction, either in academic or in general, part 1. But in part 2, guys, always ensure you have a conclusion. And in conclusion, what you do is you summarize your body paragraphs in 1 or 2 statements. For example, in body paragraph 1, you had talked about she is patient. In body paragraph 2, you had talked about she is kind, for example. So in your conclusion, you just summarize those 2 body paragraphs and say something like, from the above, it is very evident that she is a very patient and kind lady, as there have been many instances whereby she has shown these qualities. After you've given this summary of the body paragraphs, you will also reinforce your opinion given in the introduction paragraph. For example, if in the introduction paragraph you had said she's a good lady, and now in the body paragraphs you are listing the reasons as to why she's a good lady. So in the conclusion, you will reinforce that indeed she is a good lady. You will reinforce your opinion. For example, if you are talking about traffic jam, and in the body paragraph, you are talking about traffic jam and ways to reduce traffic jam in the city. In the body paragraph, you had said one way of reducing traffic jam is to use public transportation. In the second body paragraph, you had said the second way to reduce traffic jam. No, I confused myself. The first way to reduce traffic jam is to encourage public transportation, and the second way is to hike importation fees of cars into the country. So in your conclusion, you'll write, from the above, it is evident one of the major ways of reducing traffic jam in the city is to encourage public transport and hike the fees of importation of cars into the country. And then you are also going to reinforce your opinion and say that it is evident that there are many ways of reducing traffic jam in the city. Like, you reinforce your opinion. And remember, guys, these are just examples. I'm just trying to make you understand the required structure. So the way I've phrased these sentences is not like up to quality or up to par, because I'm just like formulating them right as we go. But I'm trying just to show you the structure required. Okay. So remember, introduction paragraph, body paragraph or body paragraphs, a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3, and then 1 conclusion paragraph. Okay, guys, please follow that structure. Do not, even when you run out of, that's why I was insisting, even when you realize you've run out of time, please ensure that you've written to the last minute. This is to ensure that the examiner knows that you know the required structure. In part 1, you know the required structure. In part 2, you also know the required structure. Okay. Things to note about writing in part 2. Always use opening words in paragraphs. In the beginning of paragraphs. These include words like first and foremost, firstly, secondly, in addition to. Always use opening words. Whenever you open a paragraph, do not just go like pa. If it's the first body paragraph, you can say something like firstly. If it's the second body paragraph, you can say secondly. If it's the conclusion paragraph, you can say in conclusion, comma. You get what I mean? Always use an opening word when you're beginning a paragraph. If it's the introduction paragraph, you can say something like, it is clear that, comma. You get what I mean? Okay. Use connectors in your statements. Connectors are words such as and, however, therefore, also, more so. Use connectors. Remember, connectors also add you points and give you flow in your paragraph. So ensure that in each body paragraph, you've used a connector. Guys, you remember these connectors such as, what was it called? No sooner than. You remember those connectors we used to be taught in primary school, secondary school, grade 5, 7, such connectors. Okay. Ensure you use synonyms, idioms, and contrasts. Guys, any opportunity you get to use a synonym, please use a synonym. In part 2. Remember, in part 1, either in academic or in general, you do not use any synonym or any idiom. You just write something very serious. But in part 2, you are free to use synonyms, idioms, contrasts. Idioms are something, things such as black as coal, as cold as ice. You get what I mean? Running as fast as a deer. Things like that. Slow as a tortoise. Is that an idiom? I'm not sure, but I guess you get what I mean. Like, you are free to express yourself. You can use words such as oh my goodness, oh my, no sooner than, contrary to popular belief. Such words to spice up your essay. Do not just write plain English as if you are talking to the president. Like, words to spice up your essay. Idioms, synonyms. You can use contrasts. Anything to spice up your essay. Ensure you answer all parts of the question. This shows the examiner that you comprehend what is being asked. So sometimes your question can have two parts. For example, the first part is requiring you to talk about advantages, and the second part is requiring you to talk about disadvantages. So please ensure you don't talk only about the advantages and you completely forget about disadvantages. So always answer both parts of your question. Please take note of this. And this is why it's very important to write down your key points before you begin answering part 2. This is because during your key points, you will ensure you've written key points for the first question and you've also written key points of the second question. But it's not always at all times that there are two types of questions. Sometimes it's only one question. But in case there are two questions you are required to answer, ensure you've answered both of them. Because if you neglect one of them, you're going to get half of the points you are required to get. Okay. Okay, let me give you one example of a part 2 question. Car ownership has increased rapidly over the past 30 years that many cities in the world have become one big traffic jam. How true do you think this statement is? What measures can the government take to discourage people from using their cars? So you see, this question type has two questions. The first question is, how true do you think this statement is? So you are required to answer if you think this statement is true or if it's not true. Then the second question you need to answer is, what measures can the government take to discourage people from using their cars? So you're supposed also to write points discussing what measures the government should take. So in this case, if you answer only part 1 as to why you think this statement is true, then you will have failed this part 2, because you will not have answered the measures the government should take. If you only talk about the measures the government should take, you will also get less points. So guys, be keen and answer all parts of your question. Okay guys, that we have come to the end of our overview of part 2. And as I said, writing is all about practice. And we can talk all we want, but without practice, we are doomed to get, we might not get the marks we want. So practice, practice, practice. And please, my candidates, please, I beg you, attend the live classes, especially in writing module, because we'll tackle each question type individually. And after we've tackled each question individually, I'll also give you assignments, individual assignments about each question type. And before you get into the exam room, ensure you've practiced each question type, because you don't know which question type is going to come to the examination. And we'll tackle each question type individually. We'll talk about the body paragraphs, introduction paragraph, how to write the conclusion in detail. This was just an overview for you to know what to expect, or for you to have a general idea of what is required to you. But the real discussion will be in the live classes. So please, please, please attend. I literally will beg you to attend. If there's any class, you can miss any class, but for writing, please attend, because writing is one of the most challenging, is considered to be the most challenging module among students. So you want to ensure that it will not be the module that will lower your overall band score. So ensure that you have practiced, you are well prepared for it. Okay. And with my guidance, there's nothing that is not possible, and we'll get the best band score for all of us. Okay guys, we've come to the end of our class, and see you in our next class. Bye.